Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath, and in this video we're going to be talking about 4 new releases from Mill Creek Entertainment. You guys know I love Mill Creek Entertainment, and this is why. We have 4 new releases that all fall under the exploitation banner, subgenre. We have 2 films from Andy Sidaris, Malibu Express and Hard Ticket to Hawaii, making their Blu-ray debut. We have this Blaxploitation double feature with Billy Dee Williams and Jim Brown. And we have this, it's Soul Team 6. This is a collection of 6 Blaxploitation movies, mostly hard to find Blaxploitation movies. We're going to get into all of this. I would also say maybe, I know some of you guys watch Serial at Midnight with your kids. Maybe not this video. We're going to be talking about exploitation, kind of getting down and dirty into some of what these movies have and what makes them appealing. Nothing lurid. But just be aware, this is going to be like an adults-focused video. So with that out of the way, a lot of you longtime viewers may remember me championing a collection called the Girls, Guns, and G-Strings collection. This is from Mill Creek Entertainment as well, but it is essentially the Andy Sidaris collection. It is the films of Andy Sidaris. It collects 12 of Sidaris's films. I have championed this collection. I know some of you guys have bought this because of my recommendations. Well, 2 of these movies, Malibu Express and Hard Ticket to Hawaii, have come to Blu-ray, courtesy of Mill Creek. Both of these movies, you know what, let's do them in order. We're talking about mid-80s movies. We're talking about 1985 for Malibu Express, I think 87 for Hard Ticket to Hawaii. But Malibu Express, it feels to me like Magnum PI meets Dukes of Hazzard. I mean, it's a redneck Magnum PI, and that's what I love about it, is because it's so California country redneck. It's got this song, like there's this country tune that runs. It's got this country soundtrack that kind of runs through the whole thing. And it's got this song. It's like, I'm in love with the girl in the centerfold of Playboy magazine. It's great. I want it on my iPod. It's a fantastic, super cheesy song. Basically, you know, plot's not super important in these movies. So, the lead character here is played by Darby Hinton, and his name is Cody Abilene. Cody Abilene cannot shoot worth a hoot. He cannot hit the broadside of a barn, but he is really good at getting tangled up with the ladies. And so in this, he's kind of a private detective. Again, Magnum PI. He drives around a DeLorean at the beginning of the movie. Like every scene, he's in a different car. But at the beginning of the movie, he's in a DeLorean that's painted red. Like, I don't remember the last time I've seen a painted DeLorean. So that's cool. And then it's got Sybil Danning in it, one of the queens of the bees. Listen, again, plot's not that important, and it's kind of a mystery, but the mystery is just an excuse to do all this stuff. In fact, like when they do the big reveal, the Columbo solving of the mystery at the end, you're like, wait, what? What? Say that again now? Again, not the point. The point is just to have fun. All the girls in these movies tend to disrobe at some point, and it probably in the 80s was really, pardon the word, titillating, but I think now in a world of Game of Thrones and Westworld and all these things, it seems kind of tame and quaint. It's still not one you want your kids around for, but it doesn't feel, it just doesn't seem to have the like, oh my goodness, the controversial element of it anymore. It just kind of feels like a relic of a bygone era, and that is a good thing for me because it's like a time capsule of 1985. So both of these movies, these 2 Sidaris movies, Malibu Express, Hard Ticket to Hawaii, have been given new complete 4K restorations by the American Genre Film Archive. And I did some side-by-side comparison shots with the original Mill Creek DVD version of Malibu Express versus the restored 4K, the 4K restored version. It's heavy on grain. The colors seem a little bit muted, but I do believe that that's inherent in the source. See, American Genre Film, the AFGA they're known for their as-is transfers. They don't do digital cleanup, really. They find a good film transfer, a good film negative, and they restore from that. And they pretty much leave it alone. They don't go in and sweeten colors. They don't remove any blemishes like dots or some small scratches or things like that. They leave it filmic. Which is cool with me because when it comes to movies like this, I want them to feel like they would feel in a drive-in, that sort of thing. And here's the thing, like, I think most of these movies have only ever really been seen on VHS. I know Malibu Express was one of those early VHS hits for the rental market. All of these, they seem to have lived most of their life on videotape. So seeing them on film is kind of a revelation. So I would say don't get your hopes super high for Malibu Express, but it does look better than it's certainly ever looked before. But Hard Ticket to Hawaii, you guys, this movie actually looks amazing. The Hawaiian cinematography. This is the thing that I like about Andy Sidaris movies, is there's kind of a loose through line. They're not necessarily connected, but they all take place, like Kevin Smith's movies, the View Askew universe. They all take place in the Sidaris universe, the Malibu Bay Films universe. And so Hard Ticket to Hawaii gives us Rowdy Abilene, not Cody. It's his cousin, who also can't shoot the broadside of a barn. We have two new playmates in here, but what this one does, see, Malibu Express is kind of like the hard R late night Cinemax version of the detective movie. Which, to put a note in it really quick, just let's put a star by that. A lot of like the Cinemax movies that I think when we think of a Cinemax movie or a Skinemax movie, it's like 70% nudity or 75% nudity and like 25% plot. This is reversed of that. These are not just an excuse for skin. It's like 25% skin, 75% plot. Just to be clear, because I think some people label these as like late night dirty movies. I mean, maybe, but I don't really think that. I think that Sidaris was going for a wider base of exploitation there. And that really comes through in Hard Ticket to Hawaii, which really amps up the action. Because I was talking about how Rowdy Abilene can't shoot the broadside of a barn. So he has a missile launcher. Instead of a gun, he carries around he does carry a gun, but he also has a missile launcher. And there's this crazy scene, you guys. I've talked before about the Frisbee scene. I guess so there's a Frisbee scene. It's one of the most famous scenes of the movie, where he's playing Frisbee with this guy with a machine gun. It's like this thug on the beach. They're playing Frisbee, and then he switches out the regular Frisbee for one with razor blades all around it. He's getting his revenge. And so he throws the Frisbee, and you just know what's coming. And it's glorious. And what do you do when you've taken out a machine gun guard with a razor blade Frisbee? What do you do? Well, in an Andy Sidaris movie, you look at the dead body and you go, and then you go about your business. But there's a scene where there's a guy rolling down the street on a skateboard. He's got a blow-up doll in one hand, as you do, and he's got a gun in the other hand. And so our characters, our heroes, are cruising along in this Jeep, and here comes blow-up doll skateboard guy, and whoop, there comes the gun. So what do? Well, you have to shoot him with a missile launcher, right? So they both end up going up into the air. The man on the skateboard and the blow-up doll go up into the air. Missile launcher takes aim at the guy, blows him to smithereens. Then, of course, you have to take out the blow-up doll with a missile launcher. So that's what it's crazy, you guys. But don't for a second think that, like, what was he thinking? Was he thinking that was going to be dramatic narrative? No, he wanted to blow up a blow-up doll with a missile launcher. That's what Andy Sidaris wanted to do. These are crazy movies. He's not an idiot. He's actually kind of genius. So both of these movies, making their Blu-ray debut, they look... Hard Ticket to Hawaii looks fantastic. Malibu Express certainly looks better than it has before. Again, these are good, valuable restorations from the American Genre Film Archive. But again, keep your expectations in check, because these aren't going to compete with, like, Deadpool 2 or something like that. These are genre films. And on that note, we will move into our Blaxploitation double feature with The Take and Black Gunn. So The Take is a Billy Dee Williams movie. Listen, I'd never even heard of this movie before, but watching it was fantastic, because I love Billy Dee Williams. Obviously, for me, he's Lando. He will always be Lando. But seeing his other work, he's a lead here. It's a corrupt cop kind of a movie. It's kind of a reverse Serpico. But it's the 70s. He's a dirty cop. He's come from San Francisco down to this corrupt, like everybody's corrupt in this town, and the chief knows that everybody's corrupt. By the way, the chief is Eddie Albert from Green Acres, playing a dramatic role, which is kind of cool. But so he comes down and he's on the take from everybody. But here's the thing: he's taking money from the mob, but he's also a good cop, and he wants to be a good cop who does his job. And that's all I'll really say about the plot of the movie, because it's kind of a Billy Dee Williams one-man show. And it's really it's just great to see him in a starring role, in a lead role. He's so cool, you guys. Billy Dee Williams is so cool. This is one that has previously only been on DVD, courtesy of the Sony choice. They do like DVD-Rs on demand of some of their catalog titles. That's how we've had this before, but now we have it on Blu-ray. So probably the master existed from Sony. And so it's a little bit grainy, but a lot of these 70s movies, even 80s movies, they are really grainy. Listen, grain, without getting too deep into the weeds here, film is grain. Grain makes up film. So you want to have a balance between overwhelming grain. You don't want it to overwhelm the picture, but you also want to respect what makes film film. And I feel like the master does a good job. I think this looks really good. And it's amazing to me because I'd never heard of it before, and now here we have a Blu-ray release, and I'm going to watch this thing probably fairly often because it's a really cool movie. Black Gunn is the other movie on this set with Big Jim Brown, who was obviously a star of many, not just Blaxploitation films. 100 Rifles. I'm thinking of 100 Rifles with Burt Reynolds and Raquel Welch. He's a great, so cool, casual, collected. He didn't lose his temper. He was always very quiet, commanding. But this is the thing. Like he has chosen to fight the man by being successful, by being a businessman and rising up on his own through his own power, through his own decisions, while he has a brother who has chosen anger, violence, kind of the Black Panther route. And in that, I say Black Panther, I mean like Black Panthers, like the organization, the militant organization, the Black Panthers. But there are shades of the Black Panther Marvel movie where you have like Black Panther and then Killmonger, right? So like one chooses anger, one chooses a different method. That's kind of here, but then they push him too far, of course, and he has to take it to them. It's got some crazy stunts in here. It's got some really cool brawls. But this is another really cool one. So this is out now as well, both of these movies. What I also love about Mill Creek is that we're talking about restored exploitation movies on Blu-ray. And you can find these right now for like $8.99. At least in America. They're like on Amazon for like $8.99. Last but not least, let's talk about Soul Team 6. Now this is going to be for the Blaxploitation completist or completionist, because these are 6 movies, but they are full frame public domain prints. So these are not restored. These are not HD. But and you guys know this is kind of where Mill Creek came from years ago with these big public domain collections. That was kind of what they were known for. And I think maybe to an extent they still are known for that, but obviously they've moved into bigger and better things. But these movies, again, for the completionist, they are valuable for their rarity. Like there's one here, The Black Six. So this is a 1973 movie called The Black Six. And the premise of the film is that there are these 6 black motorcycle guys, and they're all football players. The intro, the way they introduce these characters, I love it. So they're riding down the street, they're like riding in California country, and they're on their motorcycles, and we get a single shot, like a one shot of every person, and it gives their name and what football team they play for. And then of course when they're all done, they go have their adventure. But it's super cool, and it's one of those movies that is rare. Like you don't see it. It's been out on DVD before. It was actually paired with The Black Gestapo, which is another movie on this collection. There was a double feature from, I don't remember what company it was from, but it was The Black Six and The Black Gestapo. So both of those are here. And then it also has The Black Brigade, Black Fist, The Black Godfather, and Fighting Mad. And so some of those are on other collections. Some of them are not. Some of them, I believe, you can only get here at this point. So what's cool about these is that they give you 3 discs, or I'm sorry, it's 2 discs, 3 movies per disc. And they, again, keep your expectations low. These are public domain television prints, probably. They look like VHS. They look like video, very, very worn video, honestly. They don't look, let's be honest, they don't look good. But for some of us, for collectors, preservationists, things like that, that's all that exists. For the Black Six, for example, I looked and looked and looked. There is no better version of the Black Six. This movie's never been, as far as I'm aware, we don't have a widescreen print anywhere. We certainly don't have an anamorphic print. We have a full screen VHS transfer, probably from a television library somewhere. And that's how a lot of us who grew up in the 70s and the 80s, this is how we saw some of these movies is on cable or late night television in an old faded full frame print. And so that's what this is. It is what it is. I have not watched all of the movies on this collection. I've watched a few of them, but they're all full frame, all video, not restored in any way, but valuable for the Blaxploitation completionist. So guys, that's going to do it for this video. I am excited to also report that Mill Creek has announced they're working on the next 2 Andy Sidaris movies. I believe it's Savage Beach, Picasso Trigger, and Savage Beach, 88 and 89, I believe. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for talking some exploitation cinema with me. I appreciate you so very much. Until next time, I will catch you later.